In August 2018, a story unfolded that shocked the nation, a tale of love, betrayal, and cold-blooded murder. Chris Watts, a seemingly devoted husband and father, was living what appeared to be the American dream. He had a beautiful wife, Shanann, and 2 young daughters, Bella and Celeste. From the outside, they were the picture-perfect family, sharing their happy moments on social media for the world to see. But behind closed doors, cracks were forming in their marriage. Shanann was growing suspicious of Chris's distant behavior, unaware that he was living a double life. While she fought to keep their marriage together, Chris had already decided to destroy it. What seemed like a normal, loving household was about to become a crime scene. In the early hours of August 13, 2018, Chris committed an unthinkable act. He murdered his pregnant wife and their 2 innocent daughters, throwing their bodies away as if they were nothing. The world would soon learn the horrifying truth behind his mask of normalcy.
Well, come over. It's amazing what you can do with Thrive and how it gives you the energy and mental clarity. How are you watching and you're sitting right here?
I'm right here.
Weirdo. So Chris has lost a significant amount of weight since you started Thrive. How much?
On the night of August 12, 2018, Shanann returned home from a business trip in Arizona, exhausted but hopeful about her marriage. She had been trying to fix things with Chris, unaware that he had already made up his mind. In the early hours of August 13th, while their daughters slept in their rooms, Chris attacked Shanann in their bedroom. He strangled her with his bare hands, silencing the woman who had once loved him unconditionally. But the horror didn't end there. Their daughter Bella walked in, confused and scared, asking why her mother wasn't waking up. Chris, now consumed by his monstrous decision, knew he couldn't stop. He loaded Shanann's lifeless body into his truck, along with his 2 daughters, who were still alive. Driving them to an oil site owned by his employer, he carried out the rest of his plan. In the most heartbreaking way imaginable, he smothered Celeste first, then Bella, despite her desperate pleas for her life. He then discarded their small bodies in separate oil tanks and buried Shanann in a shallow grave nearby. The man who once claimed to love his family had just erased them in the most inhumane way possible. The following day, Chris played the role of a worried husband and father, giving interviews and pleading for his family's safe return. He appeared desperate, concerned, and heartbroken, but something was off. Investigators and one of his neighbors quickly picked up on his odd behavior, his lack of real emotion, his rehearsed words, and his unnatural calmness. Shanann's friends, who knew her well, immediately suspected foul play. As the investigation unfolded, detectives discovered Chris's affair with Nicole Kessinger, a woman he had been seeing for months. The pieces started coming together, and under the pressure of a polygraph test, Chris crumbled. He confessed, but his lies continued. At first, he claimed Shanann had killed their daughters, forcing him to kill her in retaliation. But soon, the real story came out, and it was more horrifying than anyone could have imagined. Chris had planned everything, choosing his new life over the family he had promised to love and protect. He showed no remorse, no grief, just cold calculation. The truth was out, and the world was left in shock at the depths of his betrayal.
What's going through your mind right now?
I don't know where my kids are. I don't know where Shanann is. It's not something I could ever fathom would happen in my lifetime, and I have no inclination of where she is. We've reached out to friends, family. Both of our families are back in North Carolina, so they're beside themselves. Like, we all have friends in North Carolina. We have friends here. We have friends everywhere. and not knowing like where she is or where the kids are. I don't know what to do right now. I just feel so alone in this house right now, and I don't know where to go from here right now.
And you said you had to stay here by yourself last night. When I opened the door, it's like you're almost like.
I mean, my heart's racing a mile a minute. I mean, just everything that's happening the last few days, it's earth-shattering right now. It's like my world's been turned upside down. It's like I have friends that have offered to I didn't feel like I should have left last night, like just in case, like maybe she came back, maybe the kids came back, maybe something happened, maybe there's a knock on the door. I wanted to be here. I didn't think last night was a good time to stay with anybody else, or, I mean, I want friends to be here with me because that just makes me feel better.
And how do you think the police have responded so far?
It's been amazing. They've been in constant contact. Frederick Police Department, detectives, officers, sergeants. They have the dogs coming through to get scents. I mean, they've been on top of everything, missing persons reports. They've been.
Do you have any idea where she could be?
She said she was going to a friend's house with the kids, and that's the last thing I heard, and that was it. It was very vague, and it was very, I don't have no inclination of where she is. Every friend that I've called that has a car seat that could have come and got her,
And you saw her yesterday morning?
Yeah, I saw her yesterday morning. She got back from the airport, and I mean, she has to be somewhere. In my heart, I believe that she is somewhere, and I hope that she is safe.
Search dog go in your house right now to get a scent. A line of police cars.
I'm so happy that they're here right now doing everything that they can. It scares the living crap out of me right now, just knowing that it's come to this and that she didn't come home last night with the kids. Like, Shanann, Bella, and Celeste, if you're out there, please, just come home.
And you, yesterday, when her friends were calling frantic, something in you said, well, she'll just be home.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like her not to answer a phone call or a text. And when her friend Nicole showed up at the door, I was just like, all right, something's up. And I came home, and it was like I walked into a ghost town. Like, everything, she wasn't here, kids weren't here. It was just, they were here, and then they were gone.
Yeah. And did you see the kids in the morning, too?
Just in the monitor.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. And you leave really early.
Mm-hmm.
In November 2018, Chris Watts stood in court, facing the consequences of his monstrous actions. He pleaded guilty to all charges to avoid the death penalty, receiving 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole. Shanann's family sat in the courtroom, listening to the gut-wrenching details of what had happened to their daughter and granddaughters. The pain in their eyes was unbearable, their grief immeasurable. The world watched as justice was served, but no punishment could ever undo what had been done. Chris had chosen lust over loyalty, murder over divorce. He had stolen a mother from her unborn son, robbed 2 innocent girls of their futures, and shattered countless lives. His name became synonymous with evil, a chilling reminder of how darkness can hide behind the most ordinary of facades. Even behind bars, Chris's actions continue to haunt those left behind. His story serves as a warning. Sometimes the people we trust the most are the ones who betray us in the end. The Watts family tragedy is a painful example of how deception, selfishness, and greed can destroy lives. Shanann, Bella, and Celeste should have had a lifetime of love and happiness ahead of them. Instead, their lives were stolen by the very person meant to protect them. If there's anything to learn from this tragedy, it's that evil can wear a smile and look just like a loving father and husband. No amount of social media posts or happy family photos can hide the truth forever. Behind every tragedy like this, there are warning signs, subtle, often ignored, but always there. If you or someone you know is in a dangerous situation, don't wait until it's too late. Speak up, seek help, and never ignore the signs, because love should never lead to betrayal, and family should never end in murder. Rest in peace, Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and baby Nico. May their story never be forgotten.